What is up, my bodyweight warriors, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to start this video off with a little bit of a confession. This is because I kind of realized this morning that I can't really remember the last time that I had a proper structured training session. This has been happening basically for like the last 4 or 5 weeks. I just haven't really been able to train. It's kind of frustrating really, because I had such an intermittent year in 2017 because of my tendonitis injury and then supraspinatus tear. I couldn't really get into any decent training or any sort of rhythm then. When this series happened, I kind of developed a little bit of bicep tendonitis, and then I had like a good 6, maybe 8 weeks of training at some point in this series, and results went well, muscle mass was good, everything was kind of ticking along nicely, and then it's now fallen again into kind of just a bit of a dodgy 4 weeks. I just wanted to mention this just to basically be honest with you. I think maybe that some people might have the impression that my training is perfect, and it always is perfect, where to be honest with you, especially the last year, it's been far from perfect. I did want to, however, mention a couple of things that I think might be useful for somebody and people who are in a similar sort of position, who are struggling to find some consistency or struggling to dedicate enough time to their training, and that is focus on your goals, number one. The one thing I have been consistent with, and the one thing I've seen progress and it's ticking along nicely, is the one-arm hands. I've still been able to set aside that time to do that. That's because that is my main goal for this year. The other stuff is just kind of taking a back seat for the moment. So if, for example, you're limited on time, you have 3 30-minute sessions a week, don't feel like you need to try and squeeze everything into those sessions. Just focus on the things that are important to you, maybe 1, 2, 3 at most sort of goals. Focus on that with some good intent. Give it the time it deserves, and they will make good progress, and everything else can kind of just wait its turn. That being said, what I'd love to know is, how long do you guys spend training a week? For me personally, I will spend 3 or 4 kind of 45 minutes to 1 hour handstand sessions, as well as about 4 1-hour-ish training sessions a week. So that my total training time would be 8 hours, could kind of be on the high end of that level. How long do you spend when you train? How many days a week? What are you kind of doing? I'd love to hear what you're up to. So as for today's session, I am actually going to be doing a sort of planned training session. I've got some basically bent arm strength training, so I'm going to be doing some handstand push-ups, doing some pull-ups, and then probably a little bit of rotator cuff and arms work, and that's kind of it. I've been keeping sort of bare bones, and apart from that, I'm filming for this week's Starting Calisthenics. Just as I was doing like some of the sets, I realized that I've actually made some really good progress in handstand push-up and also the planche without directly training them. Being able to do the handstand push-up with good form is really just about having freakishly strong shoulders, a decent-ish handstand, and then a decent kind of upper back. And that's what doing one-arm handstands has given me. It kind of unlocks the handstand push-up as well. And the same goes for the planche. I think as well, like having combined some really good like basic pushing patterns in the last few phases of training, like the weighted push-ups and stuff, that's just added on top of that. So when I was filming the pull-up tutorial for the Starting Calisthenics series, I kind of discovered the one-arm chin-up again. It's something I haven't touched in like 12 months because overuse in that was what actually caused my tendonitis in my elbow that then made me have 9 months off. So I've kind of been reluctant to get back on it because I'm now in a bit of an intensity phase rather than just doing like weighted pull-ups or something. I thought I would add unilateral one-arm movements in there just to see how they feel. And the answer is kind of not bad. You all right, mate? Chilling and billing. I don't think it's going to be a major goal again because when you have too many goals, you just make crap progress in all of them rather than good progress in some. But it's fun just to kind of throw in there. finishing up with a quick little pumpy front lever accessory and push up, and that's basically the workout. Although I always finish up with a little bit of external rotator cuff and some arm work. And the workout is really over now. So that was a pretty decent session. It was like probably 2 hours long. The only silly thing that I've done is I haven't really eaten today. I had a bulletproof coffee, so a coffee with like butter and MST oil, and I had that around 9 AM and I haven't really had anything else since. So I feel fine, but I just know that I'm way down on calories. So post-workout, time to smash all the food. So in here we've got an adaptation of my weight gainer shake. There's no oats in here, there's no dates, but there is a banana and there's oat milk and there's honey as well. So that's this, and then alongside it I've got a couple pieces of sourdough toast, chopped up some banana on top with peanut butter, a lot of peanut butter. By the way, an incredible combination. For you guys, I thought it would be interesting to see what the calories of this meal are. I was kind of interested myself, so I put it into my FitnessPal, and apparently this 1,159 calories, 66 grams of protein, 160 grams of carbs, of which a sugar is 87 because of the honey, banana, and then 25 grams of fat. So I think that's a pretty decent post-workout meal. That combined with a few hundred calories of the bulletproof coffee at breakfast, we're probably about to where I would usually be at this time of the day. But I've now got to Skype a client, do a little bit of work, so I'll catch you in a little bit. I just want to touch on the topic that I mentioned earlier about being frustrated that I haven't been able to train. I have been actually a little bit frustrated with myself for the past few days, and I want to be able to invest the time that I want to be able to invest in, that I know I need to invest in to get the best results. But talking about it in this video today kind of reminded me of why that doesn't really matter. And I think it's this obsession with trying to achieve things as quickly as possible. And you see it all the time on YouTube because people are in like 30-day push-up challenge, like get shredded in 30 days, 7-day splits challenge, all this kind of bullshit that's out there. In reality does not reflect an actual training journey, or whatever you want to call it, itself. And that's kind of what I did make this Bodyweight Basics thing, is like what's happening week to week in terms of training. I think you have this expectation of like things just keep getting better and better and better and over time, but like really it's just up and down all over the place. Like ultimately, if you stay consistent, if you stay persistent and you keep working it, you have that patience to keep going, eventually you will hit those end goals. For me, I've just missed out the last 4 weeks of training. I haven't really lost much strength, but equally I haven't progressed, but that doesn't matter. Like it just shifts the end goal like a little bit further down the line. I don't know, that's my thoughts on things. I was a little bit pissed off earlier, but I feel much better about the whole situation now. So thanks guys, thanks for consoling my fears. What am I even talking about? I also wanted to ask you one last thing as well, because there hasn't been that much training over the past weeks in terms of fixed routines. I haven't been like sharing a routine and adding some sort of commentary myself to these videos. Like, do you prefer a commentary style video, or do you prefer these like kind of chatting, random, whatever's kind of happening videos? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know what you prefer to watch. Just join the conversation. While you're down there, you can also hit that thumbs up button, support the channel, show that you're enjoying this series. Right next to it is that subscribe button. You can join the Bodyweight Warrior tribe. But that has been it for this week, guys. I will catch you in the next episode. Have a strong week, and peace.